I don't even know where to begin. Part of me doesn't want to write this down, like putting it into words will make it more real. But I haven't slept, and my hands won't stop shaking. I need to tell someone, even if that someone is just a page in my notebook. It happened last night. Jenna, my roommate, went home for the weekend to visit her dad in Houston. The dorm was quiet. I was alone, trying to cram for my American Lit midterm. I had been dragging my eyes across the same paragraph in the scarlet letter for 20 minutes. Hester Praint's misery just wasn't holding my attention. I remember looking at the clock. It was 11:50 p.m. That's when I noticed the air felt strange. Not cold, just still, like the room had stopped breathing. The air conditioning may have given out again. This building is ancient, and maintenance is non-existent. I got up to check the vent, but the cold air was still coming through. I shrugged it off. I was tired, probably imagining things. I went back to my desk and tried to focus, and then, at exactly 12:08 a.m., someone knocked on my door, only once. It wasn't timid or rushed, a solid knock, almost too heavy for the thin wood of the dorm room door. I waited, expecting more. Another knock, a voice, something, but there was only silence. That was when I remembered the urban legend. Everyone at the University of Texas talks about it during freshman orientation week, usually, while half drunk, in an attempt to scare the underclassmen. They call it the one knock. The story goes that if you hear a single knock on your dorm door past midnight, you should never open it. If the person really needs something, they will knock again. If they knock only once and wait, it is not a person. I remember rolling my eyes when I first heard it. It sounded like something made up to keep people from answering doors at night and getting into trouble. Last night, I didn't roll my eyes, but I also didn't believe it. I mean, come on. I'm a rational person. I've lived in Austin my whole life. If I started believing every ghost story whispered in a dorm hallway, I'd never sleep. So I stood up, walked to the door, and looked through the peephole. Nothing. The hallway was empty. The flickering overhead light buzzed quietly, but there was no one there. I opened the door. Still no one. I leaned out, looking both ways. Empty. Dead, quiet. My stomach twisted a little. It was probably a prank, I told myself. Someone was hiding around the corner, laughing with their phone out, waiting for me to look confused. I closed the door, locked it, and told myself to forget about it. But I couldn't. Not when I noticed the air in the room had changed again. Heavier. No. Harder to breathe. Like I had walked into a place that didn't want me there. I turned around, and that was the first time I saw it. At first, it was just a shape, a shadow by the closet door. I thought, maybe it was my coat hanging weird, but then it moved. It stepped forward, just slightly, into the light. It looked like me. No, it looked like what someone would create if they had seen me, just once, and tried to copy me from memory. Its neck bent slightly to the left, like it had been broken and never healed. Its eyes were too wide, and its smile, God. That smile. It stretched across its face like it didn't understand how to stop smiling, as if the face it wore wasn't made for expression. I froze, my back against the door. It didn't move toward me. It didn't speak. It just stood near my bed, watching. I whispered, "Who are you?" That was when it opened its mouth. It didn't speak, not at first. It produced a chilling sound, like the unsettling tearing of wet fabric intertwined with an eerie, high-pitched wail. Then in my voice, it said one thing. "Why did you open the door?" I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened. My body was screaming at me to run, but I couldn't move. I was trapped in my own skin. staring at this thing that was wearing me like a costume. I don't remember getting off the bed, but I must have. I ended up curled on the floor next to my desk, staring at it, and it stared right back. It didn't leave, not for hours. I watched the clock crawl past 2, then 3, then 4 in the morning. Every time I blinked, I was terrified it would be closer. At some point, it started copying me. If I flinched, its head twitched. If I shifted my weight, its arms moved. When I finally whispered a prayer, it mouthed the words along with me. I kept asking it what it wanted. It never answered, and kept that horrible smile. Then, around 5:41 a.m., when the first light of morning pushed through the blinds, it turned its head toward the window. It looked almost confused, like it didn't understand what sunlight was, and then it was gone. Not like it walked away. 1 second it was there, and the next it wasn't. The air cleared. I could breathe again. I didn't sleep though. I sat on my bed until the sun was fully up, and even then, I kept every light in the room on. I thought maybe I had imagined it. I had some kind of mental break from stress. But when I finally worked up the courage to open the door and check the hallway, I saw something. A piece of fabric was stuck inside the door, around the hinge, ragged, dirty, and gray, just like what it was wearing. I haven't told anyone. Jenna is still out of town, and I don't want people to think I've lost it, but I can't shake the feeling that I invited something in. That, whatever it was watching, learning. And tonight, just a few minutes ago, I heard it again. A knock. Only one. I didn't answer. Not this time. But I don't think it needs the door anymore.